you down here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you want me to call you?
I'm Sonia W.
Okay, Sonia. I know you have a story to tell me, so what do you want to tell me?
Well, I'd like to share my experience with this gentrification process.
Okay. Please do.
I was a resident of Ward 4 for a very long time. I am a housing choice voucher holder, and I was renting a house. My landlord decided that he wanted to sell the house, and I was not in a position to buy it myself. So I had to look for another place to live with my children. I also had a dog. I was unable to find any properties in the areas that I wanted to be in Ward 4, who would basically accept pets as well. So my only options ended up being in Southeast. I did not want to move to Southeast because everything that I do was west of the river. The church I go to, the schools my children went to. But when I went to go through the process of transferring my voucher, the way that the housing authority decides the amount of rent that they will pay a landlord is based on the subdivision. So what I found out is when I picked up property, I would have to look up the subdivision on their website to get the rent determination amount. What I ended up finding out was in the most desirable areas, they're not offering hardly any rent that would appeal to a landlord. In the underdeveloped areas or the undesirable areas, the amount of rent that they pay the landlord could very well exceed $2,000. As an example, in the Brightwood area of Northwest DC, for a 2-bedroom, the landlord may get $1,300 a month. In an area called Old City, and there's an Old City 1 and an Old City 2. It's a very underdeveloped part of DC. It's also in Northeast. In that area, they would offer the landlord $2,000 or more. I actually went to look at a property in Old City, and the rent, I believe, was somewhere around $1,200 to $1,300 a month. They offered the landlord $2,000 more, which is $700 more than the rent, which is not how that determination should be made. The rent should be equal to whatever the landlord gets. It should be very close to equal to what the housing authority would pay. And I complained about it, but my complaints fell on deaf ears. But here I ended up moving to Southeast. I found a really nice property that accepted my pet, and we're doing okay. But I was forced away from where I wanted to be. And I believe that the housing authority is in alignment with the developers and other powers that be who decide where people who are dependent on subsidized housing, all the people that are involved in those regulations and decisions are working together.